While we are just getting started with the new mechanical CAD SIG, our strategic interoperability group for the BIM domain have been delivering key technologies for Revit and Navisworks files for nearly 10 years. BimRv is ODA standalone toolkits for the import, visualization and creation of Revit models. BimRv includes support for the latest 2023 Revit file format, along with API enhancements that provide full access to 2023 data. Older files from version 2015 onwards are automatically converted to the latest 2023 version during loading, giving client application consistent access to data regardless of the underlying file version. BimRv can also write files to the 2023 format. BimRv has a large and growing user base, and we are investing significant resources into ongoing improvements to the public API and more extensive support for element creation and editing. The next member case demonstrates integration of BimRv SDK in Safe Software's data integration platform.
File reading and visualization are in production state and are heavily used by ODA members. BimRv can visualize all the Revit elements that contain geometry. It supports materials that contain data for different visual styles, like cut and fill patterns, textures, colors, and so on. BimRv can also draw plane and section views as well as annotation elements. The geometry for those elements is not stored in the file explicitly, rather BimRv generates it on the fly. We also implemented generation and visualization of the cable tray geometry for fire and load, basing on the same on-the-fly generation principle. BimRv supports different visual styles for Revit files. This year, we improved consistent colors visual style, which uses material settings for shaded style but excludes lighting, added the ability to draw foreground and background fill patterns, implemented support for overrides in visualization. Thus, for an element or group of elements, we can override color, material, transparency, and etc. Improved room visualization by supporting interior fill geometry is created by cutting out the internal BimRv geometry of the room. Schedules normally do not store data internally, but have rules and settings to obtain data from elements. Last year, we implemented the initial version of data collection for schedules. This year, we significantly improved it by adding support for images, schedule splitting, row color, table background, use of rebar numbering, and etc. We implemented different schedule behavior in the view and on the sheet. For example, a table draws images on the sheet, but names of images appear on the schedule view. We also implemented support for keynote legends on the sheet and visualization for panel schedules. Creating new Revit elements and modifying existing ones is another major area of BimRv functionality. BimRv can create elements of several types, create family templates, update family geometry by family type, import family into a model database, and restore imported family. BimRv can create the following types of elements: curve elements, direct shape and freeform elements, materials, side surfaces, basic walls, floors, connectors, different views, text nodes, custom parameters and their instances. This year, we implemented the ability to create the following new elements: grids, including line, arc and multi-segment, dimensions, including linear, alignment, arc length, radial, angular, and reference planes. For families, BimRv can create basic elements for family geometry, all forms elements and their void form, family geom combination, openings in host elements in a family file, and dimensions and reference plane elements. We also added the ability to create several family templates. In addition to family creation, ODA members need the ability to update geometry by family type. A family contains geometry only for the active type. If family type is changed, BimRv needs to update the geometry of the family. This is a complex process that involves ODA constraints solver. The current implementation works, but has the following restrictions. Parameters must not use formulas, as BimRv is not able to translate them yet. Elements must be of types which can be created by BimRv. We will continue to work on full family creation support. For families input, BimRv can do the following. Input a family into a model of family database and create an internal family database. Create new family symbols during input. Activate the symbol for the active family type. Activate other symbols if it is possible to rebuild the geometry of the family. Create new family instances for activated symbols. We implemented the edit family method. It restores an imported family and returns its database, so it can be saved in a separate IFA file. Over the past year, we significantly expanded our IFC export functionality for Revit files. Edit, calculation, and export of IFC common property sets and IFC quantities. Edit export of BimRv parameters as IFC property sets. Edit support for loading of external property sets from XML. And edit export of classifications. We also implemented the export to IFC4 format for triangulated face set, polygonal face set, and advanced prep geometry representation types.